Warning, portions of this call have been altered to protect the privacy and identity of all involved. Ooh, HIPAA. Welcome to the Medic Materials Podcast. If you came here for a healthy dose of EMS professionalism, you just made a huge mistake. Each week, we discuss all things EMS, review some calls. We also try to get you to pry open your wallets and buy some cool merch and join the Patreon. Somewhere along the way, we also do a fair amount of education and say some smart things. So push the kids out of the room, settle in, and let's get started.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Back
I didn't see that stroke look in your eye when you came up there, G.
No, he didn't. It was like, could you hear it?
I heard it, yeah.
Okay.
I heard it.
And you didn't have a seizure or a stroke?
I mean, you can only have so many. I mean, you just take one look at the president and you can figure that one out. It's like, remember the old "This is your brain on drugs" commercial?
Oh my God, seriously.
Like, this is what happens when you've had too many TIAs.
I think honestly we should take all of the snubs and dubs and all the gaffes and stuff like that and just start a whole "this is what happens" campaign. Because it would be perfect.
And put it to the music of Wu-Tang Clan.
That would be awesome.
Right?
So awesome.
Coming up, going up the stairs, start falling, be like, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Oh man.
Oops, there it is. I'm done.
Right. So welcome everyone back to the Medic Materials Podcast. I have a hopeful. I think there'll be some interesting discussion points for today. I so wish Miss Emily was here for this one because
she doesn't care.
No, she cares.
She hates us.
She doesn't hate us.
She hates us.
We just ruined her solitaire game. Don't worry about it.
We told her that we were going to record Mondays, so she switched her schedule to work Fridays, and then
we should be doing Mondays.
Back. But then we can't have Butch. It's one or the other. She said all she said was give her a couple weeks and she's going to switch back, so she'll be here. But yeah, so
there's some things in the work we'll talk about off air. Don't worry.
Then Phil's assed out. Sorry.
Yeah, and Phil is fisting himself.
Can't make everybody happy.
Right, exactly. So
except his glory hole, he makes everybody happy.
He makes absolutely everybody happy.
Don't forget to give to the Phil Foundation.
Absolutely, don't forget the Phil Foundation. We'll talk about the Phil Foundation in the rig check today. But before I do, we have to hit the most epic intro of all time and welcome the Maha to the show.
I wish I could hear the music.
That would be nice.
Right?
I can hear the music. It's great.
Right. So I can hear it. You'll be fine. I can hear the music.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I hear
the pool or pond.
Don't worry.
Pond will be good for you.
Don't worry about what I can hear.
Yeah, don't worry about that. You don't need to hear that. It's only your intro. You don't need to hear it.
Right. You don't need to care.
Right. Next time, when you all come down, we go out for dinner. I'll be like, hey, don't worry about it. I'm buying, but he's paying.
There you go.
Anything you want, it's on him.
Right, it's on him.
And honestly, it'll probably be on the business. So there you go.
No.
Yeah. We could make it a work dinner. That's a write-off.
Oh, yeah. You just got to say, hey, medic material stuff.
Exactly.
Medic material stuff.
Boom. Done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think this call lends itself to a lot of things that we talk about people doing and or not doing on multiple shows that we've done. So I'm hoping that you guys don't pull the rest of your hair out on this one.
I ain't got none left. It's all good.
Well, you got beard hair to pull. You can turn that into like a Fu Manchu kind of thing.
I can get some grays out of there.
Yeah, just start plucking.
You still got a hold of Keith Hernandez, I see.
Yeah, I gotta say goodbye to Mr. Gray.
Say goodbye to Mr. Gray. Oh God, I hate Keith Hernandez. Fuck that guy. So let me get into the rig check, and then we'll get started with today. As Gerard brought up, the Phil Foundation, we do have the Phil Foundation authentic sticker.
That shows that you gave.
That shows that you gave. That's absolutely correct.
Pure love right there.
And
Pure
I'll tell you,
love.
this is a limited edition. I
right.
did not order a whole lot, so get them while you can. The merch site is down in the description below of either the video or the podcast you're watching. And I'll tell you,
if you were thinking of giving to that St. Jude, forget it. Just forget those kids. Just you want to give to the Phil Foundation.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, he
gives back.
We've already sold a few, which is just
I know.
Absolutely
so
mind blowing.
Awesome. That makes my heart feel good.
I know, right? We also have
that people actually understand us.
I know, right?
I think I need a tissue.
Right.
We also have our BSI Scene Safe stickers.
Yeah, I knew that would be a hit.
Yep, which we've also limited quantities of this one as well. And then the best one, brainchild of our Sir Gerardo,
Thank you.
Mega sticker. Make EMS great again.
That's right.
Absolutely love this one. This one's going.
Believe me.
The greatest ever.
Greatest ever.
Greatest sticker you'll ever have.
Yep. Greatest show.
Mexico paid for it.
So get the new stickers. Like I said, the merch link is down in the show notes or the description of the video you're watching. Secondarily, New York State is no longer extending certifications due to COVID, which means there are plenty of providers that are in crunch time and freaking out because they are due in like the next 3 months. You know how you fix that? You join for free the CME Academy from Medic Materials, and then you get listening to our CMEs, which are these podcasts, and you get done so many hours in such a short amount of time.
While you're driving.
Like I said, multiple times there are people that listen to them while they're cooking, while they're driving, while they're at work, right? If you're doing this
when you're
as
in the
a
bunk room beating
volunteer
off,
or whatever.
Put one on.
Absolutely. So
I can't say it'll help with the one thing, but it'll help
hitting Phil's glory hole. You know?
Right,
while you're hitting Phil's glory hole, exactly.
Right, there you go.
I mean, whatever works.
Yeah, he'll get you over the hump.
The link for the CME Academy is again down in the show notes. And we want to shout out our listeners in Botswana.
Ooh.
And the great state of Utah, which I finally was able to visit over winter break last year. And a special thank you goes out to our brand new Patreons, Jim, Tori, and Jerry. So thank you very much for becoming Patreons.
Right on. See, I told you, you shame them into freaking cracking that wallet open. Right?
Damn Skippy. Right. That new intro's working, Gerard.
And as far as Botswana goes, and if anybody does ever want to go on a really cool, like, vacation or honeymoon or whatever, the Okavango Delta. It's a whole little nature preserve in Botswana. But you want to see elephants, you want to see all that shit, that's where you want to go.
That's cool.
It's fucking awesome.
That sounds freaking cool.
It is fucking awesome.
Very, very cool.
Okinawa what?
The Okavango Delta. It's a whole
I heard Okinawa
region.
Too.
Yeah, Okinawa, sure. Why not? You'll get on the wrong plane and you'll be getting off with all your Africa shit on, and everyone will be like, yo, konnichiwa, bitch.
Mr.
Like,
Miyagi will be coming to greet me.
Why is everybody so small?
Oh, man.
I think we got on the wrong plane.
They got these little trees over there.
Right. Shit.
So
there's a giant lizard attacking that building. What the fuck?
It's Godzilla.
Godzilla. So are you guys ready to hear this
ready.
nonsense? It is full of nonsense. I
Do
have
we
a
take a
feeling,
deep breath first?
I feel like it's this is not a extremist call. This is not a Patreon level call. This is not going to, thrill the hearts and minds.
We don't have any dead kids.
No dead kids, no heartbreaking nonsense. I think
hold on. Let's take a moment and compliment the Maha. Now we know why he's the Maha. He's drinking that fucking frou-frou smart water. It's making him smart.
It's making him
smart. It's got grape drink in it.
It's got electrolytes.
It's got grape drink in it too.
Oh, it's got grape drink. See,
drink.
With caffeine mixed in.
Grape drink with smart water will make you smart as the Maha. See, you should get them and sign on for one of those little sponsorship deals.
Right?
You
the
know?
Grape drink or the smart water?
Both. Get it from both ends. Giggity.
Fill the glory hole. Both ends, glory hole. Hey,
that's
got an
Phil's
extra
job.
hand.
Let's put it this way: none of us work Phil's job. Phil's works Phil's job, so we don't want to overstep and overbook Phil.
That is true.
I mean, he is in the process of getting fisted right now.
I mean,
so
the poor guy is just he's just so tired.
He's so tired.
He's tired of playing the game.
The poor guy.
Ain't it a freaking shame?
We tell him. I've offered to have him come out here and work. Man don't wanna. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
Chump don't want the help. Chump don't get the help.
Nope.
What a seamless transition that was. That was great. If only he knew what he was doing, it would have been the perfect setup on the tee.
Sorry.
He just didn't know.
I didn't.
It was perfect. It was perfect anyway.
I'm glad that I helped you guys out.
Even more perfect because you didn't.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect being clueless. I love
That's
it.
right.
All right. All right.
It's like half our government.
Half.
Sorry.
Half. Exactly. Half.
Right. It's like I almost shit my pants. Like almost.
All right. So your system today is a urban district, a large city urban district,
favorite,
covered by a city ambulance staffed with 2 paid EMT basics, 0 paramagicians in this one.
Nice.
The
hospital's right around the corner.
Yep, there are 2 hospitals within the immediate area of this call. There is
That's
a large
scoop and run.
Yep, there's a large city. Remember, this is a large city, so most of the hospitals have all the different services like cardiac and stroke and trauma and stuff like that. But these 2 have other specialties amongst those. One is 10 blocks north of the scene. That one also specializes in cancer and cancer treatments. And then the other hospital that is close is 6 blocks east of the scene and specializes in sports medicine, which I think is kind of cool.
Ortho, that kind of stuff, yeah.
Right. Ortho, sports medicine, stuff like that.
Cool.
So you guys are dispatched. Now we can't forget. We're not going to trust the Alpha today.
Right.
Okay.
Never
trust the Alpha. Get your sticker, merch link below. All right. You guys are dispatched in Alpha fucking priority to an apartment building for a 57-year-old female with the complaints of nausea, vomiting, and abdomen pain.
How did this get an Alpha, you fucking dispatchers? I'm telling you, put the EMD down. Put the EMD down. Just set it down and back away from it slowly.
Just walk away.
Put it down. Open your ears. Open your eyes. Think about things for a second. You have a female, abdomen pain, nausea, right? What does that sound like to you? Continue.
More than an Alpha. So I personally hate nausea vomiting calls because my first instinct is, oh my God, this is the stomach bug and I'm going to bring it home and then we're all going to be vomiting and nastiness. But what goes through your head when hearing those 3 things? Because you typically hear nausea, vomiting, abdo pain together or some combination of those 3.
With female, my first thing is cardiac.
Okay. Especially 57-year-old, middle-aged, probably a good thought process to go through.
It's one of the first things that pops in my head.
Yep. I love it. Mr. Maha?
Yeah, with that age range, 50s, in the 50s, 40s to 50s, yeah, I think of the cardiac stuff. If it's younger, You think of pregnancy stuff, you know.
More,
Yep.
yeah, more pregnancy. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I tend to agree there, right? In people of childbearing age up to like 45, I tend to think, okay, is this a pregnancy issue? Right?
Ectopic stuff, you know,
Right.
stuff like that. Yeah.
40 and above, I tend to also think cardiac related.
Yeah.
Like all of those get 12 leads, no matter what.
Yep.
You know, it's not even like, oh, is it above or below the navel? Nope, don't care. Abdo pain gets 12 lead. At least
So
that's typically about what I do.
Do the EMTs in this district, do they do 12 leads or no?
They do not.
Okay.
They have a cardiac monitor in their ambulance that
Why?
because they use it for the AED capabilities. They do not carry the standard like standalone AED.
You gotta love city EMS and fire because
Oh yeah.
all you need is an AED, but we're gonna spend the money and get you a full monitor that you can't fucking use.
Exactly, right? Just
Yeah.
put it in AED mode. It'll be fine.
That's it. Just leave it there.
Then they lock out all the ALS features, you know. but
Right, yeah.
All you can do is put an AED.
Or we could just spend $300 and get you an AED.
Right. just wait. The excitement of this call.
Man, you can't make this shit up.
No, you cannot.
Well, our call volume, we got no money. Yeah.
Oh my God,
How about that BLS life pack you got?
Dude, I was
Fucking dick.
$35,000 cardiac monitor for BLS, AED, and vital signs that they just write in anyway.
Right.
It's a city, so you know they got like 6 of them in the station.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They got them deep pockets. They don't give a fuck. Good stuff.
And they got a backup for each one of them.
But I'll tell you, dude, so believe this or not, I was reading an article about Atlanta City Fire EMS, right?
Yeah.
And they admitted in the article that call volume was up 14%.
Oh,
and I
shit.
was like
Yeah, but
what?
you know what that means? Yeah, but see, they know for a fact that their people don't read those articles, so they can keep telling them it's down.
Right.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
But all right.
They're like, they're never gonna read that.
No. So the
No pictures.
Nope.
the crew takes a drive over to the apartment complex. They grab, and I quote, just so you clearly hear me, they grab their stretcher and their tablet and move into the apartment building.
That's all you need. You know, you get everything. You're good.
You got everything, right?
Wow.
So
You got a patient. You got a stretcher to put the patient on, and you can get the tablet, this
Dude,
patient information. You're good to go.
You know what, dude? I'm gonna say it's city system culture, man.
yes, it is.
We're just BLS.
If you're just BLS in a city, you're just gonna fucking scoop them and go anyway. There's nothing you're gonna do.
Right, you're
I
scooping
got
and
5
hauling,
minutes. I got
right?
5 minutes to drive.
Right.
Not even half the time. Oh, right around the corner.
Yep.
Off you go.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. So
You know what? I get it. They're lulled into the whole. Why should I bother doing that shit when we're just fucking rocking and rolling? I can't do anything anyway.
right. So they grab their stretcher and their tablet. They move into the apartment building. The EMTs arrive at the apartment, knock on the door. A woman opens up the door and then walks back into the kitchen. Opens the door, says, "Hey, come on in." Walks back right into the kitchen, which is like directly next to the door.
Okay.
The EMTs follow this lady inside, and they ask, why the heck have they been called? And she says that she woke up this morning with excruciating abdominal pain and explosive projectile vomiting. It continued through the morning. She couldn't handle it anymore now that it's the afternoon, and so she called 911. So that's your initial story. Not much to go on. Right?
Okay.
It's not like this crew can do a lot since, they didn't bring any gear.
They can assess,
They can assess, right?
But they're not going to.
But we already know how this show works. All of the fans listening are like, yeah, they're not going to do a thing, and they're gonna, and she's going to die in the elevator. We already know what's going to happen.
You can walk to the ambulance, right?
Right?
I'm surprised they brought the stretcher.
Me too, right? So are there any special questions you guys specifically tend to ask with complaints like nausea and abdominal pain?
What does the pain feel like? Anything else you don't normally, I call them any other sensations you don't normally have that you've noticed,
Yep.
so they might say, oh, yeah, a little back pain, or, oh man, my hand was tingling a little bit, or something like that, just so anything that's a little off. And then, then straight into freaking samples. Like, give me what's your history, and what do you take, and what are you allergic to, so I can work.
Right. And I like how you put it in like sensations that you don't normally feel, right? You didn't just say, hey, do you have pain anywhere else?
Nope,
Because they'll
I
be
ask
like,
that
no,
all the time.
right?
Yep.
I tend to, always ask, like for chest pains or belly pains, I'll ask pain, pressure, or other discomforts, because it could be something that it doesn't fit into pain or pressure kind of thing. So I really like sensations. I might steal that one from you.
Dude, by all means take it.
I like that one.
Because the thing that I found is, especially with older people, you can't ask them, so you feeling pain anywhere? You're going to sit down, pull out your fucking notebook, because you're going to be writing for a while if you ask them that question.
Right.
Because they're always in pain. There's always something going on.
Right.
Knee pain, back pain, this pain, that pain. So you can't say, you feeling any pain? Because their answer is going to be, yeah.
Right. And then your follow-up is, well, is that normal pain? Do you have it every day?
So get rid of all that, because in the beginning, when you're brand spanking new, you ask stuff like that.
Right.
Then you learn how to talk to people, and you learn what you don't want to do, and that's when I came up with, hey, you know what? Have you been noticing any sensations you don't normally feel?
Yeah. I like
so then
that.
in their mind, they eliminate all their normal aches and pains, and they go, oh yeah, I've been feeling this little thing, a pinchy pain right here in the left side of my flank there, or whatever, what I mean? So then you'll get something that might actually help you.
What about you, Mr. Maha?
So another one is, she opened the door for this one, and she said she, woke up and she was puking. Now, did she wake up with the pain, or did the pain wake her up? That's another good one too. So that can kind of indicate maybe what's going on here too. Because if she woke up and then she started having the pain, they always taught us, like, if the pain wakes you up, then it's much more serious than waking up and then having the pain.
Right. And
then, like, what does the vomit look like? Is it food? Is it bile? Is it,
is it red?
Undigested food?
Right. And I think another one to add on top of that I tend to ask is, along the lines of like vomiting and pain, is I will always ask, did it wake you up? Did it not wake you up if they were sleeping? But did the pain start before or after the vomiting started? Because if they're wrenching so hard and then the pain started, or something, right, they could have pulled a muscle, they might have popped something, they might have broken, who knows, right? Yeah. But if they were having the pain first and now they're vomiting, maybe that clues me into maybe a little bit of shock. Maybe, something is wrong with that particular, portion of the GI tract. Who knows? So that's another one that I tend to ask if both of them are together.
I was going to say the other thing I would do in this particular situation is pay close attention to my olfactory sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Take a whiff while you're in there. If you smell what you think you smell, then you might have a bleeder.
Yeah. Yep. Does it smell like nasty GI bleed?
Right. Ugh. So I hear that of projectile vomiting, abdominal pain. I'm like, well, ooh, yeah, we got a ripe one here. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should get moving.
You also have to remember, projectile vomiting, sometimes leads you to those subarachnoid bleeds too that we sometimes forget about.
Yeah. That's a good thought, right? So trauma kind of stuff. Did you fall recently? Did you get hit in the head with something? Did all those should be not so much thinking abdomen and GI, but also thinking neuro, right? I will foreshadow, they don't ever do anything neuro. So
wait. Okay.
Dude, honestly, like I said, man, a city system and they're the BLS truck,
I'm
good
su-
luck. Good luck if their first set of vitals isn't where they stand there while at the hospital real quick and watch the nurse take it.
I'm surprised that they showed up. Let's put it that way, and didn't go to Chick-fil-A.
But the worst part is you don't have to take half an hour to do an assessment like this. You can literally do that assessment within the first 5 minutes and know what's going on with somebody.
Yeah.
Ask a few questions while you're doing the questions. You're doing your assessment, like, hey, just kind of hold my hand, squeeze my hands. Oh, so when did the pain start? How did it start? Did it wake you up? Were you awake when it happened? What does your vomit look like? Is it this, that?
Yeah.
And then when you get done doing the neuro assessment, you can kind of pat the belly. Do you have a headache with this at all?
Yeah.
And you can be done in 5 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, and you don't even
literally that quick.
You didn't even need gear for that, right? So
Nope.
even though that they forgot gear, you could figure
so.
out a large portion of possibly what's going on, right? But I think Gerard's leading down the path of, this is what has been ingrained in their training. This is what they've seen most of their other providers doing. This is the culture, so we're just going to run with it. And we're not really, this is bothersome, right?
Mm-hmm.
This lady with her complaints are, a fly in the ointment, and why give her the time of day?
I mean, honestly, I don't even know. I don't think it would be. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna go out and say that they're gonna look at this woman as an annoyance. Again, I don't know if it's like if she's a frequent or whatever, but if she's not a frequent,
either.
and they've just been dispatched here, like I said, I think it's just it's the culture in a lot of especially urban places where especially if you're a BLS truck, because I was a BLS truck in an urban place, and all they cared about was, well, why did you stay on scene so long? Well, I was doing an assessment. Just scoop them and go.
Right.
You got 3 calls pending.
Right.
So why are you even talking to that patient? Get your demos, get the vitals, run to the hospital.
Right.
That's
and
it.
Make sure you got that insurance information, have them sign and get
that's
it.
Right.
That's it. Get the insurance
and
card.
the sad part about it is we see this reflected in the ALS perspective as well. It's not just BLS providers, it's ALS providers as well.
Right. And that's where I have an exception where it's like, okay, not that I'm like diminishing BLS providers. I mean, like I said, when you were like, well, what can they do? Well, they can assess. You can assess a patient.
Absolutely.
And then you can walk them into the hospital and go, hey, you know what? This is what we got. Here's all our findings so far. This is what I'm suspecting. Have fun. Have a good day. Sign here.
Yep.
It's better than just walking and going, patient.
Here's Julie. Right.
Have a nice day. Back to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, where I take the exception is when you have the ALS providers that do the same shit. It's like, no, man, you got the whole extra set of fucking skill set that you bring. And honestly, man, like, with the exception of places where your fire is in conjunction with EMS, because that I understand. They don't want to do paramedicine. They don't want to do EMS. They just want to fucking stroke their fucking smooth bore. I get it.
Then don't fucking be a paramedic. Just
yeah, but you can't have the job though. You got to be a paramedic.
Then go work at fucking Walmart.
Well, no, but you can't be on the calendar if you go to Walmart. So the problem is that, I mean, to me, that's the biggest problem. You're forcing people to do a job they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And then there's no, I don't want to say the word incentive, but there's no accountability for when they don't do their job.
There's no oversight. Right.
Right.
They just cool.
Oh, they're just our good boys. We're just gonna we'll remediate them and they'll be okay. And
right.
And the doctors have their favorite little departments, and yeah, we'll just sweep that under the rug, and he just needs a little more training. He's a good guy,
right.
And he'll be on next month, Mr. July, he'll be all right.
That's right. We have transport agencies that can take him to the right hospital.
Right. Right. And I'll yell at them when they get here.
Absolutely. So go ahead.
But my point is just, with the exception of places like that where they're not going to do what they're supposed to do just because they don't want to be there. But in places where they are an EMS, entity, where they are separate and they are city stuff, yeah, man, this is your time to play, dude.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit you learned, all the funky, cool little things you could do, now's your chance to go fucking do it. Why are you just scooping and running?
Right.
You know.
Again,
Right,
you know, it doesn't take a lot of effort for people to break what they believe in and join the crowd, right? So they could have been taught, they could have known, like, hey, I got to do an assessment. I want to do good. But if they're on the island by themselves, like they're the only ones that are going to do that, they will conform to the rest of the crowd. Right?
Because
it doesn't take a lot.
You're not gonna go far making everybody else look bad.
Right.
Even though they're making themselves look bad, you're just the only one who points out the fact that they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
Bingo.
You know?
I mean, granted, there are those times you show up to a call and you're just like, oh shit, I gotta go now. I mean, there are those times when if you aren't in a hospital 10 minutes ago, that patient is just gonna be, you know,
like a bad freaking gunshot or stab, something like that.
Right.
That's like, hey, I don't need to sit here and figure out what the hell happened. I know what happened.
Right.
Right. And I know this motherfucker's gonna be dead if they don't get to a surgeon's table. So let's just fucking go and we'll figure out the rest later.
Yep.
Those
are good situations, right?
You know.
So let's see what these guys do. So the primary EMT begins a initial assessment. They find that this lady is alert and oriented ×4, airways open, clear of any fluid or debris at this time. Breathing appears normal. Skin is pink, cool, and dry. And that is the assessment. No
Bills.
No taking a pulse, no vital signs, no asking of questions.
So please tell me they at least just got her up and let's go.
Not yet. They will, but not yet.
I mean, she's talking to him, so she's got to be breathing.
Right.
I mean, there's that.
Are they hoping for the sign off?
Probably. So during this time that the first EMT is doing this primary assessment, the secondary EMT is asking her not all of the important questions of like, what's your history and what's this, what's that, but all of the important demographic information to put into the tablet.
Of course. That's why the tablet's with them.
Because that's exactly, we got to start chart, right?
That's
got to start chart.
You have your insurance card by any chance?
Right. So once the demo information is entered into the tablet, they assist her walking to the stretcher, which they left conveniently in the hall, just like we all would, and begin to head out of the apartment complex.
You know, it's hard to push the head of the stretcher in and move it and configure it inside the apartment.
Very difficult. So for informational purposes, for you guys and for all of the listeners, the lady says that she has a medical history of a cardiac stent, and is on metoprolol and aspirin daily, and does not have any allergies. So take that as you will for this call.
That's all she's on with a stent?
That is all she's on with a stent. Now, that is all that was reported to me that she's on. Who knows if she's non-med compliant? I don't know. It was kind of surprising that she wasn't on a Plavix or something.
Like Coumadin or something like
right, that. Right. That she wasn't on a bigger,
Yeah, usually you're on a statin by now.
Right,
exactly.
Blood thinner. That usual cardiac diet,
Exactly. Yeah. I was kind of shocked too. But again, who knows? She could not be med compliant. Who the heck knows? So they're wheeling her down the hall. They get into the elevator and they're heading down this building. And while in the elevator, she tells them that she is again about to vomit.
Paint the walls.
For those about to vomit, we salute you.
The crew scrambles about to try and find an emesis bag, but
then you wonder why I always end up at the back of the stretcher.
Bingo, right?
Mama didn't raise no fool.
I just have to time here for a second. I don't know what you hit on your desk there, Mr. Gerard, but your simulator just lit up behind you, and I'm curious as to where you're flying to.
Oh, it's not. It's just the.
Oh, it's just the screen.
It's just the desktop background.
Okay. I can't see the icon, so it just looks like you're flying.
No.
All right. So back in, the crew scrambles to find.
I think it wasn't porn.
Right.
Oh, right. Like, why is Phil on your screen back there? Like, oh, hold on a second.
So you know those
we go all blurry here.
Those compartments that you can hang on like the back of the stretcher that you can put like gloves and shit in,
right,
oxygen supplies.
Important stuff.
There's nothing ever useful in there ever.
There's never anything useful, right? Well, they have one of those, but none of the compartments have an emesis bag.
It's got their Chick-fil-A in there.
It's probably got their Chick-fil-A. So without an emesis bag, this lady proceeds to projectile vomit across her legs, across the bottom of the stretcher, and across the elevator wall. Because
splash. Splash. Splash.
I could only imagine the smell of that. Now,
I'll be taking the stairs. Bye.
Ma'am, I'll meet you at the bottom.
Hey, we're both EMTs, so see you later.
Yeah. So
We'll get the truck running.
They report that it is a thicker brown liquid that comes out. Not like clear bile, not yellow. It's like nasty brown shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, no food in it, just nasty brown. So they get out of the elevator.
Okay, is it dark brown or just brown?
They just reported to me as brown, so
okay.
I don't know. They get out of the elevator, and because this all happened, they don't want to just leave, so they go over across the lobby to the building office, and they tell the building manager, hey, this lady just vomited all over your elevator. I'd shut it down, and then they leave. They're like, peace, not my problem, and see you later.
Clean up, aisle 4.
Which, honestly, is probably what I would do in that situation. I would be like, yo, clean up. Sorry, we can't stay. Bye.
I was going to say, it also depends on the type of building this is. They may have just gone, yeah, whatever. I can think of a few that are just like, hey, someone just puked all over the freaking thing. Or like,
meh.
Yeah, it'll brighten the place up a little bit.
It's better than needles. It's fine.
Right? Might want to shut that elevator down. Oh, it's already out of service. Oh, shit.
Wait, you took that elevator? Shit.
Yeah, we did. Huh? We lived.
So
you didn't see the sign? What sign?
8th floor, huh? Yeah.
So far this crew's gotten demos, right? They have absolutely no idea why this lady is having excruciating abdominal pain or the vomiting. And to me, it seems like they could just honestly care less. So at this point, I just want your generalized thoughts over the whole thing. We've broken down a bunch of their, the little things, but like your thoughts on care, on what could be going on, just generalized.
I mean, what could be going on is all kinds of good stuff, but
all kinds of good stuff, right?
You don't even at a BLS level, man. What do they tell you? I mean, it's so funny. People act like EMTs never had to deal with a freaking MI on their own ever,
right?
And it's like doesn't anybody remember you do signs and symptoms in EMT school, and if it meets this set of criteria, you go, oh, okay, well, here's some aspirin. Here's do you take nitro? No. Okay. Well, that goes out the window. But if you have nitro, I can help you to take some of that and you get that in you too. Okay. Here's some oxygen.
Cool oxygen. Yeah.
Right, a little oxygen. Right.
Yeah.
Now off we go.
Yeah. It's amazing how many systems beat their EMTs into the ground to where they're completely and utterly useless. Like, just give me two drivers. Just give me 2 drivers, because honestly, you are completely useless to that patient. If you are gifted across the country with all of the life-saving skills, aspirin, epinephrine, airway stuff, ventilatory management, bleeding control, CPR, all of the things that actually change outcomes. Not, oh, well, we'll give you 5 of metoprolol if the doctor lets us for your, hypertensive crisis. No. That's bullshit what paramedics do, right? They just do it flashier.
Dude, BB freaking told me one time, we were sitting outside and he was on a cigar and I was smoking one of my cancer sticks. And we're having a talk about, me going to paramedic school and all that. And he's like, when you go, they're going to teach you all kinds of funny stuff and fancy stuff and all kinds of good things. And they're really good things and they're good things to know and they're good things to have and be able to do. Says, but, at the end of the day, there's really only one thing that anyone, paramedic, EMT, carries in their bag that is 100% proven to save a life. He said, and what do you think that is? And I'm like, fucking oral glucose? I don't know, what the fuck do I know? I'm a fucking EMT, what do I? He's like, no, man, fucking aspirin.
Yeah.
Aspirin.
Aspirin.
And EMTs give aspirin.
Right. Aspirin, epinephrine. Literally the only 2 things that I tell all of my students, these will save lives. Everything else you could do without. Aspirin, epinephrine, save lives. EMTs give that, right? Yeah. So why are we treating these EMTs and why are we beating them into the ground to turn them into providers like this who are just transport junkies? They're not doing assessments. They're not trying to figure out problems. They don't give a flying fuckery.
There's an air of snobbery.
Because there's another call pending 10 minutes down the road. They got to hurry up, turn the burn, get the demo so they can bill for this one and get to the next one.
Yeah, it's such bullshit.
Abnormal lab values at the nursing home. Got to go to the hospital.
Right.
That's the reality.
Oh, I know it's the reality, but the reality could still be bullshit.
Oh, no, it's dazzling bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I hear they're good.
I hear they're good.
So
But
Go
yeah,
ahead,
no,
sorry.
I was just gonna say it's it is dazzling bullshit and they are very good. But no,
hey,
yeah, we'll just leave it there. Go ahead, continue. My bad.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Let's move on.
So the secondary EMT gets into the driver's seat once they get to the ambulance, and they begin transport to the hospital 6 blocks away.
Yeah, let's just get there.
Let's just get there, right?
Did they go lights and sirens, Bo?
They did.
I have no idea.
Of course they did.
Probably. It's a city, sure.
You're in a city, you gotta go lights and sirens.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, then people are looking, going, "Hey, why are they driving like that? We got no lights on. How come they're not in a hurry?"
Yep. Yeah. So towels are placed over the vomit on her legs. And then the primary EMT connects the NIBP cuff from their $35,000 cardiac monitor.
The $35,000 blood pressure machine.
Which again, they can only use as blood pressure and an AED.
Which will not give you the blood pressure bouncing up and down the road.
Right.
They got a pulse ox too.
Yep, and a pulse ox.
That's right. I forgot about the pulse ox.
They get their first set of vitals. Because we didn't do vitals upstairs, right? Why we didn't bring any gear upstairs,
right?
So the BP
and the pulse ox isn't accurate till about 3 minutes in. So how accurate is that?
Yep. So the BP cuff via the BP cuff. I'll dig myself an hour. The BP via the NIBP cuff returns as 145/97. The heart rate via the pulse ox probe is 118. The respiratory rate is counted as 20 and unlabored. And the SpO2 is 94% on room air. I have no idea if this lady's heart rate was regular, irregularly irregular, because they never checked an actual physical pulse. So couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, does the mechanical pulse match the freaking electrical pulse?
Right. No clue. Who knows? The machine spit out 118. I'm going with it, Gerard.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Well, let's see. What was that drug she was on again? Oh yeah, metoprolol. How accurate were those vitals?
Right? Interesting that, she's on a beta blocker and
Hey,
she's
notice she doesn't have the
tachycardic.
chest pain to go with it either.
Yeah.
Very interesting, right? So
Hold on, I'm gonna do my kung fu.
I almost
Interesting.
I almost thought you were going up like this, that you were gonna do the I can't see me,
Oh no,
John Cena.
Oh no, I can see them.
Like I was waiting for it. I was like, how's he gonna fit that in?
No, I'm just doing the.
But yeah, good things to think about, right? Like she's got a cardiac history. She's complaining of abdominal pain. She's on metoprolol, which is a beta blocker, which should slow her rate, but her rate is all the way in the 1-teens. That doesn't make much sense, right? And she's also got a blood pressure that's through the roof, where typically the metoprolol would lower the blood pressure.
Did we ever ask, do you take your meds faithfully?
Bingo, right? Did she take her meds today? Did she take her meds and then vomit them all back up?
Right.
Right? And she never really got her meds today, right?
Never
asked anything. Right? So they finally get this poor doll an emesis bag. The primary EMT finally decides to ask a question. And asks if...
Do you have your insurance card on you?
Right.
So they ask if she's eaten or drinking anything today because, we always have to ask that.
That is the stupidest fucking question to ask right now.
I know.
Oh my God. Like on the scale of 1 to completely fucking like full tard, you've pinned the end of the spectrum, bud.
Well, it's on that sample thing, like down that L. So you gotta throw it in there.
Holy
somewhere.
shit.
Yep.
She's been projectile puking all day long. She just did it again in front of you, and your first question is, have you eaten or drank anything?
Yeah.
Ma'am, do you like bacon?
like, are you this? If I may take a Bruce Willis.
You ever have haggis?
Right. Did you haven't eat any haggis today? If I may take a Bruce Willisism, are you the kind of person that would have gone up to Mrs. Lincoln at Ford Theater and said, "Hey, did I miss anything?"
But it's so true, right? We're so ingrained on sample, right? That we don't go out of sample, Oh, L, last oral intake. What did you eat last? How many times do we really ask that question? Very rarely do I, unless it's like a glucose problem.
Right. If there's an indication for me to ask that, I will ask it.
Right. Other than that,
it's there for you to learn to keep it in the quiver to use as needed.
Right. They really should take it out of sample because it really stresses. People ask it for every single thing, and it's like
in the beginning,
why?
but once they learn, hey, I don't have to do that, then like I said, it's something that it's in your head, it's in there, and like for me, the reason I ask it may not be for like abdominal stuff or nausea, whatever. For me, it could be, I'm taking somebody that I know is about to go on a fucking operating room table.
Right.
And I'm like, they need to know, like, when's the last time you ate or drank something?
Yep.
Because, they'll be fucking wearing it.
Yep.
Or you'll be inhaling it.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So, yeah. But I mean, that's really the only time I think about it is, like you said, anything, metabolic, endocrine, that kind of shit. Or if I know I'm taking someone, they're going right to the fucking OR.
Right.
Yep.
I agree. So she responds that she couldn't eat or drink anything. She attempted, right? Tried. I'll dig myself out.
She trotted.
She tried. She tried to eat this morning, but again, just vomits it back up, right? So probably indicates there that she took her meds and vomited them back up, right?
Yeah.
She tells them that she's feeling cold and she's visibly beginning to shiver. So
she's starting to shiver.
She's starting to shimmy. The EMT is very nice and does their due diligence and gets her a blanket from the cabinet to deal with that problem. Because, why should we be wondering if any of this is symptomatic of her problem, right? And they
We're
arrive
6 blocks out, baby.
right. They arrive at the ER.
No one's gonna die in 6 blocks.
No.
I mean,
No,
he
they're
put a
not.
blanket on her, to cover that, shocking
right.
symptom that she's feeling right now.
That's
Bingo,
What?
right?
And to make sure that the nurses have a wonderful surprise when they pull that off.
Damn Skippy.
Right.
So they arrive at the ER and they're asked to please wait for a room assignment.
Of course.
So 1 hour later,
well, they're short-staffed.
absolutely. 1 hour later, they are finally given that infamous room assignment.
1 hour.
1 hour, right? During this hour, she
God,
vomits.
I hope her family sues. Anyway.
During this hour, she vomits 2 more times into the emesis bag. Still this nasty brownish liquid.
How much more of that do you think she's got in there?
I don't know.
See, that's when she starts to vomit. You wheel her right there in front of the nurse's station, just let her puke on the nurse's station, and be like,
Yeah.
See?
"Can I get a room now?"
Right?
Right?
How about now?
You want this out here with you? I'll be happy to stand right here.
Uh-huh. So they unload her after this hour to her bed. They give a report to the RN staff, and they return into service.
Yep.
So notice my next question is going to be thoughts, overall thoughts on this call. I have a awesome update for you guys.
It's what I thought they would do.
It's what
they didn't disappoint.
They did not disappoint, right? Notice 1 blood pressure for probably an hour and a half worth of patient contact time. No assessment.
They didn't actually bring her in with the monitor attached, did they?
No, of course not.
No.
They got to the hospital, they took it off, and like, okay, say goodbye.
Yeah.
Right. One thing that I will never, ever do, right?
Yeah.
Lots of people do it. I don't understand why.
Dude,
they rip
it's
all
a
the
pet
leads
peeve,
off.
man.
Like, it drives me crazy. It's like,
insane.
It's
That's
like,
not,
what
that is your
happens
patient.
if they code while you're walking out of the ambulance? You
It's
got
your
bupkis.
fucking patient. You haven't transferred them.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've been with people and they're like, "Oh, why are you leaving the things on? Because the medics don't leave their things on." And I'm like, "Well, this medic leaves his fucking things on, so you need to work with me."
You and me both.
I had a patient one time who had a history of a right bundle branch block, was having chest pains. I sat in the vestibule of a certain local hospital waiting for a room. As I'm talking to this guy, I'm watching my Zoll monitor and real time 12 lead, and waiting for a room. All of a sudden I look up and that right bundle branch block went to a normal sinus rhythm. So the issue with that is that right bundle branch block is now that when he goes to that normal sinus rhythm, that's all elevations now. So I was like, "Hey doc, got a room for me now?" And he's like, "You're not in a room yet?" "Nope, I had a room in a hurry."
Yeah. Funny how that happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? You would have missed that.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Like, it drives me bonkers.
If you had a life pack, you'd have missed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Unless you had automatic 12 leads being taken every couple of minutes.
Right.
Well, a lot of life packs are set up like that. Like if you get elevations, it takes
It'll
automatic 12 leads.
It'll kick it,
spit
yeah.
them out
Yeah.
every 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah.
Hopefully it'll pick up on it, but yeah.
But yeah, so like, I agree with you guys
Grape drink.
in that
Grape drink.
there
There was a
was
little chicken.
there was no surprises anywhere in here.
Yeah.
It was
City EMS, dude.
It
It's
was
City
right.
BLS EMS.
Yes, it was City BLS EMS.
It's City ALS EMS.
Right.
It was City BLS EMS. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true.
And
You know it's true.
I look at it as I still like I have a hard time swallowing calls like these because
Phil doesn't.
I know Phil doesn't. That's why you give to the Phil Foundation. It drives me bonkers because it's like all they had to do.
I'm just gonna keep fucking with him until he shows up and actually participates.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just gonna continue.
He was on the Patreon the last time.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay, my bad.
He came and participated. Right.
See,
Absolutely.
I don't get the Patreons because I'm cheap.
So
not that he was saying participated because he was
yeah. That was
well, I mean, he's got to pay the bills.
That was such a hard. Oh God, so hard to edit that whole episode. But anyhow, these calls drive me up the wall because these guys have the capability to do their job, right?
Yep.
But either they have been trained to not do their job, or they have chosen to be such horrible human beings that they don't give a flying fudge about another person having problems.
Well, I think it's like almost like a chicken and an egg thing, because you know, especially when you're dealing with the corporate culture of a place like that, you know, and I've been there. It's like, you know, do you continue to be the person that every time you come back from a call, they're like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You know, meanwhile, well, I wouldn't have done that. I would have just done this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, well, motherfucker, I ain't you. So that's why I did that. And then next thing you've got fucking enemies and shit because they all look like fucking assholes.
Right. And I will be the first one to say it is 100% accurate when you make people look stupid for not doing their job. You will then get labeled as you're lazy, you're horrible, you do this, you do that, you're angry, you're whatever.
Yeah, the lazy thing had me. That was funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, so he's doing his job, but you're calling him lazy.
Right. It's absolutely wild.
Only in that county.
Only.
Oh my God.
I know. God forbid.
But no, I mean, you know, it's one of those things where, yeah, did their, you know, conforming to the culture come first, or did them, you know, just being, you know, treated like shit, worked to, you know, to death, all the usual EMS shit, along with that culture, and they finally just said, I don't give a shit anymore.
Right.
I'm getting paid. You know.
Right. I'm here.
Let's go get the next carcass.
Right. And that's exactly what it turns into is, oh, you're just moving bodies. Who cares about what the body is and what's going on? We're just moving bodies.
I know somebody right now who literally just got out of EMS and like every patient was a carcass.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if they were legit or not. It was, I had to move this fucking carcass, you know.
That's a sad way.
Yeah. And this is somebody so this is, you know, over 13 years of EMS experience gone now.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know how to hold people accountable. You know, we don't demand people to be good.
No.
We just keep letting them be shit, and then finally people get fed up and they're just like, yeah, fuck it, I don't give a shit either.
Yeah. And then they bolt.
Yeah.
You know, if they're smart, they bolt. If they're not smart, they just continue the whole,
and they just stay miserable.
Right.
Yeah.
They just stay miserable. It's freaking wild. So your overall thoughts, Butch, before I get into the update here.
Yeah, it went pretty much the way we figured it would go, and the outcome's probably gonna be what we think the outcome was, but
well, we didn't get a fat guy score, so we can't get the fat guy dance.
Fat guy dance. It was I think we've all worked in agencies where we've seen the same thing, where you don't hold people accountable and they keep doing, you know, the same crap over and over again. Just they are truly the lazy ones, but we
let it happen.
Dude, it's
not just us that lets it happen, but like we said before, like, you know, the hospitals let things happen, they let it slide, and they just keep doing it over and over again, and then it becomes this vicious cycle that you get caught up in, you know.
Well, dude,
like you take the person to the wrong hospital, you take the person to the closest hospital, and the hospital just takes it like, okay, they brought him here, so now what are we gonna do with him? And then the hospital has to shuck him out to another hospital, and it just becomes a whole and it's bad for the patient, because if the patient had gone to the appropriate hospital in the first place, treatment could have been different. I mean, did the patient have a bad outcome because he went to the wrong hospital? Maybe not, but could it have been better? Probably, but you don't know.
Right.
But it wouldn't have helped our call volume, and we couldn't have double billed. So
that's true.
Yeah. But so I mean, like I'll give you a great example, and like I said, it's not just us holding people accountable, right? You know, I had I went to work one day. I am the paramedic provider. I'm the ALS provider on the truck. I have an EMT student who was doing ride time with me that day. Call drops for medic alert going off. My assigned EMT decides she's not going on the call. And I'm like, what? We're sitting out there. I sent the fucking student in. Go get her. Bring her out. No, she's not going on the call. He comes out. She's like, yeah, she's not coming. So I go with just an EMT student.
Nice.
Find out it's just the alarm went off by mistake, whatever. Thank God. Come back, and I'm fucking livid. And you know what the administrator said? Well, I can't send her home. I was like, you need to send her the fuck home, and I'm never riding with that fucking bitch again.
You need to
I came in. I
Fuck
said, you need to fucking.
send her
I
home.
did. I slammed the fucking door behind me. I said, you need to fucking fire her. She just refused going on a 911 call. I said, fuck that bitch. You need to fire her right now, and I'm never riding with her again. You need to send her home. You know who went home? I did.
Yeah.
He was, well, you know, it's a little more. I said, no, it's not more complicated. It's nothing. I said, well, tell you what. You can either be down a BLS provider or you can be down an ALS provider. I said, but I'm not working with her. And he chose to be down an ALS provider over than sending that cunt bitch home.
Tell me how you really feel.
What you're saying is you're a little angry at the situation?
Because this is somebody who was a poison pill.
Yep.
To begin with, just a lazy piece of shit, drama queen, you name it. And all you had to do was just do your fucking job. And what did she do? I'm not going on a 911 call because I got to sit here in my fucking tight ass leggings or whatever the fuck I'm trying to do to fucking score with some other fucking dude in the building. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but we don't hold anybody to account to that.
Right.
And the administrator didn't do a fucking thing. Sat there and was like, oh, well, you know, so you'd rather lose a paramedic. And that ultimately led me to putting my fucking notice in. I was like, I'm done. I'm not working here anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
First I dropped to part-time, then I put in 2 weeks, said, I'm out.
Yep. And I think that's a fair decision. See you later. Goodbye.
Yeah. So yeah, but this is the culture of EMS.
Yeah.
And I know there's people out there with stories like that.
Oh, absolutely. We could fill a month's worth of episodes on stories like that. Heck, I would like to hear stories like that. You should probably email info@medicmaterials, info.medicmaterials@gmail.com. There you go.
There you go.
That's the right one. English is hard for me today. Damn.
I know. But yeah, I mean that's where we're at as a system.
It
you know,
100% is. So would you like to hear the update from this call?
Sure. Am I?
Wrong. It's not cardiac related. It's not a UTI.
She has a ball obstruction.
Nope.
What bandage?
No. Normal BG?
Low BG?
No. So while at the ER.
Ectopic pregnancy.
Nope. You guys aren't even in the ballpark. Let's put it that way. So
hold on.
Stones.
Hold on. Now let's start. Hold on a second. He just said kidney stones. Are we hot or cold?
Cold, very cold.
I'm gonna go with my neuro thing from the beginning when I said neuro with the projectile vomiting. Neuro.
Head injury.
Ice cold. Ice
TBI.
cold. Ice.
Fucking sprained toe. Okay, I'll go with.
She mistook the milk of magnesia for like some coffee creamer.
Oof, no.
Took some mag citrate instead, and
Let me give a couple bit more details, and then let's see if you guys can figure it out. All right. So while at the ER, she's questioned more. Okay, and because that's what people do when they actually do assessments, is they question and stuff. And
wait, you said the word assessment. Assessment.
Well, you can't have that without your ass.
So.
U.S.
The hospital staff is told by this lady that she drinks heavily once per week, typically on Friday nights when she visits the bar across the street. Friday night just happened to be approximately 16 hours prior to her getting this nausea and abdominal pain.
Mm-hmm.
Want to add anything with your mm-hms?
Bleeding ulcers?
No, but really good thought. All right. Definitely a good thought. She also reports that she smokes recreational marijuana every day. A few joints, nothing crazy in an amount, according to her.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy, just a few.
Just a few.
This morning, after her abdominal pain started, she reports that she had a few instances of diarrhea after she woke up with what she described as black-colored bowel movements.
She's got a GI bleed.
Okay? So after they give her, after some more, questioning, investigation, and some, tests and stuff like that, including some scans, they find no GI bleeds of any kind. They give her Phenergan, some Zofran, and some IV fluids, and they release her home. And they tell her that she's suffering from something, which I'll reveal in a second.
What?
Any last guesses as to what this lady is suffering from?
Parasites.
Really good guess, but no. But that's a good way of thinking.
Yeah, I was going to say like trichinosis or something, but...
Trichinosis? Okay. Trichinicahi-ho?
Well, trichinosis is a disease you get from eating,
I know.
raw pork and...
Right, yeah.
Raw goo. So the hospital diagnoses her with a...
There's something you get from like... Oh, go ahead.
Butch is on it. He's going to go, fuck, that's what I was trying to think of. I know it. I can feel it. He's got it.
I can feel it.
So the hospital says that she is suffering from a condition called greenout.
Cannabinoid related.
Cannabinoid related symptoms due to the alcohol in her system. So we're going to talk heavily about greenout.
Hold on. You're telling me that the weed is fucking with the alcohol and it's making her puke?
Yes.
Well, she's an alcoholic.
So,
how the fuck does weed usually takes nausea away?
Let me just.
I don't know if I buy this.
Let me just give you this
as a former person who understood the greener things in life, in a former life. I can honestly say the actual amounts that I partook in, I've never had that.
So it doesn't always particularly happen to everybody. Okay. This is not a everybody will get this kind of thing.
All right.
Now
there's I believe the liver is involved when it comes to this, is it not?
So yes and no. Okay. So we first have to find when did they drink compared to when they smoked, because different things happen whether you have alcohol then smoke or you smoke then you have alcohol.
What if you do a strikeout?
A what?
A strikeout.
Which is?
You take a hit, hold it. While you're holding it, you drink a beer, slam a shot, and then blow it out.
Couldn't tell you. So greenout is again when you mix alcohol and THC. So drinking before weed will intensify the THC effects on the body. So if you drink, then you smoke, you're going to like superfy the weed's effects. All right. This is because alcohol increases the absorption of the THC within the body. Okay. So you're speed rolling the absorption. Because of that, people tend to feel a stronger, more euphoric high. Now, if you are used to this, right, being that stoned, being that high, it might have no effects on you, right? But if you're not, it will cause this green out, right?
So what you're saying is I smoked and drank so much that I was used to it.
You were used to it. All right, exactly. Now,
all right.
You were above average.
You were above average.
Exactly. When you show up at the homie's house first thing in the morning and they're cracking out fucking 40s as fucking St. Ides, and it's like 8:30 and you're like, oh shit, here we go.
Exactly. So, green out can last minutes. It can last hours, or it can last up to 24 hours post ingestion of smoking or ingestion of alcohol and smoking.
Huh.
Signs of green out include shivering, chills, diaphoresis, rapid heart rate, lightheadedness and dizziness, stomach issues, nausea, vomiting, paranoia, and anxiety. How many of those did she have?
Yeah, damn near all of them.
Damn near all of them, right?
Wow.
So then we go to that was drinking before weed will, intensify the weed's effects.
Right.
Now, let's talk about the opposite. Smoking weed, then doing the alcohol. From what I found, there's limited research about
I'm going to say that next time I want to go drink. I'll be like, hey, I'm going to go do the alcohol.
Right?
Who wants to go do the alcohol?
Do the alcohol. So there's a crap ton of research about drinking, then having weed. There's not a lot of research about weed and then drinking. Ton. There's not a fuck ton.
Okay.
So
is that a metric fuck ton or is that
no, it's just a crap ton.
It's just a crap ton. There's
metric.
There are studies that exist, but they're fairly old. One of them was from 1992, which had
maybe they studied me.
Stop.
they might have studied them, right?
What? It's only 32. No, wait, what is it? 30? Yeah, 32 years old now.
Yeah, it's 32. So this study had 15 participants smoke a placebo and a high dose of THC, right? Or
sounds oddly familiar,
right? Or a low dose of THC on 3 different occasions. Each occasion, they would drink a different dose of alcohol, including a placebo. And it showed that the marijuana appeared to slow down the rise of blood alcohol levels after consuming a high dose of alcohol. So,
so get high first, then drink.
Yes, because we're not telling.
That's a good message for our listeners,
right? But according to the studies that I found with this, if you drink then you smoke, it's going to intensify the THC effects.
So if
you smoke, then you drink, it slows the THC slows the absorption of the alcohol in the liver, and you are delaying the feeling of intoxication.
So we'll put it like this. If you drink before you smoke, you be fucked up.
Yes.
If you smoke and then drink, you be aight.
Then fucked up. Yes. Absolutely. You be aight. So I think this is kind of one of those, like, cannabis use is getting more and more prevalent in more and more states. Right?
Yeah, man.
People are using it so much more recreationally with edibles and stuff like that. It's not just smoking weed.
Dude, you can order it and have it sent to your door as long as it's a hemp derivative. It's not, they're not freaking getting the buds and stuff.
Right.
Like, I mean, truth be told, I use the freaking cream and whatnot for my back and my knee, and I take the gummies, to help me with, other things like, anxiety and all that kind of crap.
Right.
But, like, I don't take them to get high, and I don't take the full enchilada stuff. I take just the stuff that kind of like makes you able to focus on life again.
Right.
And, and not be like this all the fucking time, and you know what I'm saying, right? Like, oh my god,
cocaine.
Get off this crazy thing, right? Exactly. Excellent setup, by the way, and but yeah, no, it worked, and it comes right to your door. You can order it and come right to your door, no matter what state you're in, and
right.
And it's one of these things where when you go for a job interview or whatever, and okay, we're gonna have you pee in a cup. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Like, this is still a thing?
Right. Yeah. And
how do you hold people? Like, we won't hold people to account, like, for not going on calls, but we're gonna have them pee in a cup, and you tested positive for cannabis, so
yeah.
it's like, hey,
my god.
hey, what if they test positive for fucking, heroin? All right, fucking, fire them. But really, cannabis?
Yeah.
This day and age?
Well, if they test positive for heroin, we'll send them to counseling because,
right, because
it's
a disease.
Yes. That's a disease. That's addiction is a disease, but if test positive for cannabis, we can't give you a job. Sorry.
Right.
I know.
So, I got this call, and I thought it was really interesting because, not just the dynamic with the EMT crew, but the overall cause of it, right? So it shows how, the more prevalent this is becoming in our society, we have to now start learning about these other things, right? I'm actually in development of a CME specific towards cannabis and different, signs and symptoms and stuff that show up, different disease processes, but side effects of it that we might start seeing, right? Another one that we don't talk about a lot is hyperemesis cannabinoid syndrome or something like that. I forget exactly what it is, but it's strong. It's strong projectile vomiting after a person that smokes a ton of weed every day goes cold turkey.
So this is where I'm getting at. Like I gotta understand. I know all these motherfuckers, like her and I, we actually went into a place to get some more cream for the because she's using it on her foot now, and like you walk in and I'm like, yeah, I just need I don't need the stuff that fucks you up. I just need the stuff that that is going to take the pain away, and like they start talking and like it's like, did you go to weed college or something? Like, holy fucking shit, dude.
Oh yeah, man.
Like oh, this strand and this and that and this and that, and I'm just like, all right, man. Like I remember when weed was either fluffy or it was brick. All right, that's it, dude. I don't know none of this other fucking shit, dude. You know what I mean? That's it. Like now they got all this shit and it's like super fucking. Why is it gotta be so fucking? Why is it gotta be so potent that it makes people fucking projectile vomit?
Well, it's not the potency, right? In the sense of the hyperemesis syndrome, right?
Yeah.
It's actually a dopamine imbalance. So because when you smoke weed, the THC makes you happy, dopamine gets released into your system in the neuro, in the brain. And then when you stop cold turkey, your brain is used to that amount of dopamine. So now the brain has this neurotransmitter receptor that's not getting all of this dopamine, and it starts causing all of these abdominal type symptoms, right? And what's actually funny is, how you treat that? By giving Haldol. You don't.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't treat it by giving them Phenergan or Zofran or Benadryl to stop the vomiting. You give them Haldol to give them a dopamine release. And it'll stop. It makes them happy again. It stops the vomiting. So these kinds of weird things that happen because people start smoking, or they smoke when they drink, or they stop cold turkey. We as EMS providers need more education on this stuff.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I guess that's my point is, everyone says, oh, the stuff today is so much more potent than it was, and I can't believe I'm saying 30 years ago, but holy fucking shit, really 30 years?
You old.
But, God damn, really? But it's like, man, this shit didn't happen back then. Like, and trust me, I was with people that like,
he knows.
It was called wake and bake. You woke up in the morning and that was the first thing you did. And like it was just all day through the night, all day, and it just wash, rinse, repeat day after day after day.
Right.
And nothing like that ever happened to anybody.
Yeah.
As even when we were like, oh shit, we ain't got nothing. Nobody's got anything. We're done. We ain't, okay. Don't have anything for a couple days. All right. Nobody fucking projectile vomited. Nobody freaked out. Nothing like that. You just like were in a bad mood. That was it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the crazy part of it,
But today, I guess whatever the levels of this shit is now, it's like that people are getting themselves to that point where, yeah, like they're actually withdrawing from weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's back off that shit.
Yeah,
really,
it is.
You don't need to get that high.
It really is wild and crazy what kinds of things are going on now. Like I said, I'm starting to put together a CME on it because I think we need to start talking about this kinds of stuff.
And especially because everybody's doing it. And what happens when kids get their hands on it?
Bingo. What's gonna
happen? Oh, look, it's a candy.
Right. It's a gummy. Right.
It's already happened. Like
I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's happened.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I thought this call from a lot of perspectives was really interesting to have.
Yeah.
And
it threw me for a curve.
Yeah, and like I said, I with the basic amount of knowledge, right? The assessment didn't lead to anything. But maybe if they, knew about this types of stuff,
they wouldn't.
Right? Who knows? Maybe they had, a weed class. Who knows?
Not them.
Not them. Not them.
Not them.
They bought a Zolmonder instead.
Right.
Instead of giving them training. But yeah. So I'm glad that I stumped you guys for once because I never get to stump you guys.
Dude, completely.
So yay me.
Wow, I never would have thought of weed poisoning.
Weed poisoning. I don't know if that's what it's fucking called, but
well, that's what I'm calling it.
Once you brought that up, I was like,
they call it.
I know it's something. I was going along the hyperemesis,
Right.
I've never heard of the green out thing, but I was thinking the hyperemesis from cannabinoid.
Yep.
Cannabinoid. Yeah.
Yeah. What is that?
Cannabinoid humanistic underground dweller.
Let's see. Hyperemesis.
If you got that, you're old.
I used to have it on beta, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, it is hyperemesis cannabinoid syndrome.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the other one before, but I've heard of that one.
Yeah, medics call for Haldol.
Awesome.
It's like gastroparesis in diabetics. Haldol works.
Yeah. Yep. So, anything else, guys, before we ride into the sunset on this one?
Are we going to ride off with Snoop?
No, we're going to ride off with more giving to the Phil Foundation.
Yes, give to the Phil Foundation. We should definitely ride off with Gin and Juice playing, though.
Oh, that would be so cool. if we didn't get, Oh, my God. We had two weed references. Well, you didn't even realize it. We had I don't know if we were recording at the time, but we had Snoop Dogg, weed reference, and we had Willie Nelson.
That's true. Yes,
yep.
Willie.
So
we were talking about Willie before.
We were talking about Willie before.
That's right.
There you go. Mr. Gerard, I will lead you to lead us out this week.
All right, well, R.I.P. Nate Dogg Donuts. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you want more information about us and the podcast, or if you'd like to send us one of your messed up calls to review, visit medic-materials.com. There you can also find out how to earn continuing education credits just by listening to the podcast. We appreciate you spending time with us today. Until next time, remember, when you get on scene to that overdose, you don't have to ask the cop how much Narcan he's given. The answer is all of it.